We want to give you guys a quick life hack recommendation. If you're from the Toronto area, GTA, our lovely listeners, we want to help you out here. As of late, we've been recording a lot more, spending a lot more time in the studio, and because of our lives are a little bit hectic, we're in and out. We never really have snacks and food here, so we partnered up with Tiggy, who is a Canadian app, and recently came to Toronto, and they are an on-demand food delivery service.
And also, you can get your COVID test and basically anything else you need. They got a variety of unique products. Basically, anything that you might want last minute, you can go on the app. It's 15 to 30 minute delivery. Yeah, you heard that right. 15 to 30 minutes. We literally order it when we get in the studio before an episode. And before we even sit down to start recording, our food is here.
I'd say it even for us, it's always come closer to the 15 minutes than the 30. Like, we'll order it, and before we can, as soon as we sit down, take our jackets off, our guest gets here, like, the stuff is here. And, like, keeps us, we get drinks, snacks, anything we really need to kind of, keep us going, it comes. The best part is there's no fees, no subscriptions. It's actually amazing. They have fresh products, and we actually, we don't waste stuff here. We order what's needed every episode, and, we go through it, and then the next time we're back in here, we order more. We don't waste stuff because it's sit here and go bad, and it's been a lifesaver.
And since we love you guys so much, we're going to give you guys a promo code. You knew this was coming. PAL30. Yeah, PAL30. PAL 30 gives you 30% off your first 3 orders. Yep. Bingo. Boom. Go do it.
Guys, and not only that, the price of everything's going up. You're going to save 30%. What a no-brainer. Thank us later. Don't even thank us. Just go and do it. Have a great day.
We'll put the download link in the bio. Description. So click the unique link.
Okay.
You can download it again. PAL30 for 30% off your first 3 orders. Now get ready for this fire episode. Let's go.
Master of none. Anyways, to Ricky's point, what we were saying, we have 2 cameras now, so obviously more close up, so you are in the spotlight at all times. And it's great for the podcast. We just did our first episode with the 2 cameras and the new wall and everything. We had Penny Alexa.
Yeah, it looks so good in here.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's a great spot. And now our buddy Eli finished this wall here, who's a up and coming artist. Really, really happy with how this turned out. But
it's amazing.
We did it for our first episode recently, and Penny Alexiak, Canada's best Olympian. What do you call it? Best Olympian?
Most decorated
Olympian. She was on, and I was just spending the whole all last night editing the episode, and it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time, but it's worth it because our guests are the best, and we got to put the time in to shine the spotlight on them.
Absolutely. I don't think I could ever do any sort of editing like that. I suck at it.
Really?
Yeah, even with kind of music stuff, I'm ooh, it's difficult. For sure.
So you're not
producer?
Yeah, no producer. no skills on that side?
No, I'll write songs on the piano, and I know enough chords for that and to back myself up a bit, but I could definitely never do the producer thing as much as I would love to, and they're literally incredible. Not for me.
Nothing.
Yeah.
It's funny because a lot of people we've had on, most of them were on the producing side.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. Maybe a split, actually, come to think about it.
You mean songwriters?
The guests that we've had on, we've had more producers than singer-songwriters. But I'm thinking lately it's been almost 50-50.
You mean producers, including the DJ stuff that? Yeah, that's fair. Possibly.
I guess.
Very possible.
Anyways, when did you start?
Well, I got into music as soon as I came out the womb, pretty much. I started singing in the backseat of my dad's van, and then
I was just typical singer-songwriter thing.
Yeah,
in the backseat of the van, I was just jamming away.
My first song was called Balsamic Vinaigrette, and this is how it went. Balsamic Vinaigrette.
Hey, that's actually your first ever song?
Literally. I wrote it. My mom took a video of it. I don't know where it is, on some old phone, but okay. I started out just singing. My parents are both super musical, and when I got into high school, got into relationships and all that stuff, and then I started writing lots of sad songs. As you can probably tell, I like sad songs more than happy songs. But yeah, and now here we are today.
We were just talking with we had Peter Takis on.
Just gonna ask. Same thing about
Yeah, so he said that when his life is going really good and his relationships were really good and his career is
hard to write.
he says he was writing some of the worst songs he's ever written.
Yeah.
Then a couple of months later, he's going through a breakup and like he's not touring anymore and he's got like nothing kind of happening or nothing's trending in the right direction. And he says like, I just wrote hits. My album is all the songs I wrote when I was like borderline depressed.
Yeah, honestly, like I'm in a very happy relationship right now for like 3 years. And for the first chunk of it, I was like trying to write these stupid happy songs and I hated them all. And then I was like, you know what, let me just go back in my mind and still write about like the saddest points in my life, like in high school and stuff. And yeah, that's where the good songs come from for me.
That is so interesting. I wonder if that has to be common. It's a very small sample size we have, like
two for two though.
But like, still, like it's just so crazy. like I'm one that is very as a person very opposed to like jumping to conclusions based on a small sample size. Like I always like me and Ricky kind of like we'll go at each other if one of us tries to say like, oh, see, I'm right. They're like, okay, well, there's only 2 people that think this. But it's just really weird, and it does seem common because there's the jokes about, you know,
Taylor Swift.
Exactly. Thank you for
we're on the,
there.
Yeah, we're on the same page today, buddy.
But yeah, and it's interesting. But I think it goes across other disciplines too, not just like music, but a lot of people, right? When you have a chip on your shoulder, like that metaphor or whatever, people like, you know, you think about the bad, people that doubted you, and you want to rise up above it. So I guess like it applies across all. But it's interesting that singing and like songwriting and all that stuff is specific to like heartbreak, and a lot of songs come from it, right?
And there's like so many amazing happy songs too, but just like I love the emotional ones that make you want to cry. Like that's just what resonates with me, and I want to.
What's your favorite like emotional song that makes you want to cry?
Oh my goodness. Anything Louis Capaldi.
Okay.
I love him.
Yeah.
What other? Lots of country songs. I love country, honestly.
The reason I asked that, I just heard the song by Kenna Childs. I think that's her name. It's called Oceans. It's like big on TikTok. And I literally listened to it for 5 days straight. And it just like, and I'm like, again, very happy right now. My life's going amazing right now.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling great. I'm like the happiest I've ever been. And this song is just like, it just gives me feels like just so much emotion. I drove my dad to work the other day randomly and I had it on, right? So it played once. The second time it played, 'cause it's just on loop basically. And he goes, what is this? Like, what is this? I'm like, Dad, it's just a song. Just like, don't talk and just listen to it. He's like, who's it by? Like, is it by that driver's license girl?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, no, it's not. Just listen to it. So after it's done, he's like, yeah. I felt that. Like, what'd you feel? He's like, I don't know, just change the station. It's like typical like 65-year-old dad. But
Yeah.
that's why I asked that, because that song like, I'm obsessed with right now. But
Yeah.
George, what's your like go-to sad song?
I honestly don't think I have one. I'm just listening to what you guys talk about this thing and about what do I ever listen to anything? Like, not really. There's no song that I'd be like, oh my God, a bad day, or like, you know, whatever, and play this song.
Any song? Can you think about a song that's given you a more mellow or like lower tempo song that gives you feels, like emotion? Like an Adele song maybe?
I'm trying to think of a song. The first one that came into my head is Lumineers. Or is it Lumineers? When we were young. You know the song?
No. But
is it Lumineers or no? Is it?
I don't know.
When we were young, okay.
We fell in love.
That's also an Adele song. When we were young.
I can't be. Anyways, I can't sing it. I don't know what the
So
name
wait,
is.
what was yours? Louis Capaldi?
Yeah, I love Louis Capaldi.
And nothing at all. No one knows what song I'm singing?
No.
Someone listening to this podcast, if you know the song I'm singing, the first person to DM me. Stubborn Love. There. Lumineers, yeah.
I don't know.
Anyone who got that, listening to this, if you DM me, I will give you a Pals Podcast sweater. You have one left. Anyways. How did no one know that song? That song, that's the first one that came to my head. Even though it's not really sad, it's kind of like mellow.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know?
Yeah.
Because then it builds up a little bit. Anyways.
Story Never Ends by Love. I don't even know how you say it. Love.
I actually know that. It's L-O-V, but like the O was like one of those special character O's.
L-A-U-V. Love.
Oh, no, never mind.
Yeah, that's a good song.
What are you talking about? Who?
I know there's an artist that's like,
I've
L-O-V,
seen that
but the
too.
O was like O with like 2 dots on it or something.
Yeah,
I don't know what you call
seen
those.
that.
Umlauts.
Is that what it is?
I believe so. Google it. It's German. It's like it's the double dots. It's called an umlauts.
I don't even know how we got on this.
Well, the artist you came up with. I want to see
Sad
Danielle pull it up.
Sad songs.
Yes, no, true, false. Okay, anyways.
We have no idea. You were saying country music, big fan?
Yeah, well, I grew up in a very small town.
Where'd you
and
grow
like
up?
Napanee is where I went to school. So it's like 2.5 hours outside of the city.
And you're Ottawa, right?
Well, it's in between Toronto and Ottawa.
Okay.
Like
Okay, that's what I
smack
was gonna-
dab in the middle.
I got confused too. I was like, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I thought Ottawa.
We're on the same page there.
No. Yeah, so I grew up, I live on the reserve because my dad's native, I'm part native, and I went to school in like the next town over, and everybody is like, I don't want to say Hicks because if anybody that's from the town listens to this, but like they all listen to country, and like at the start, like I hated it. I did not like country whatsoever, and then I started listening to like not the twangy stuff and got into like the sad, emotional country songs, and they're incredible. Like a lot of the songwriting is so good.
I wanted to obviously get into like growing up on the reserve and like kind of transitioning out because you're obviously not a native singer. Like, it's not your genre. What was that like for you growing up? Like, did you take any inspiration from that kind of sound, or is it just you watched TV, much music, took the inspiration from there?
Yeah, for sure. I think it definitely had a part to play in like the music that I make today because my dad has a band. He has like an indigenous band called Broken Walls, and he plays the native wind flute and the powwow drum and all that kind of stuff. And I think it didn't like directly impact like the music that I'm making, but it kind of made my love for music in such like a giant variety. And so I like put a little bit of jazz in my songs, a little bit of pop, a little bit of R&B, and then like my vocals, I love his wind flute because it's so soft and airy and really pretty. So I think my vocals are kind of similar to that kind of sound.
Do you ever run ideas by him?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah?
And I help him write songs, actually.
Oh, that's good then.
Yeah.
It's a little father-daughter bonding.
Yeah.
Are you a daddy's girl?
Yeah, for sure. I love my mom too, but I'm definitely a daddy's girl.
Yeah, we're mama's boys. It's
Yeah, good.
Very fair.
It's good.
So your dad plays obviously a few instruments, and you mentioned like you're kind of born into music, but that you don't do so much on the production side. But you did mention the piano. Do you play the piano or any other instruments? Or
Yep. I just play the piano enough to write my own songs and just back myself up a little bit. But yeah, just the piano.
This is where George's going to tell you how he
Lots
plays
of
the
songs.
drums.
No, I wasn't going to actually. We were on a roll here, buddy. I'm trying not to I'm not trying to talk about myself this episode, but I did play the drums. I actually play the drums and the clarinet. And I've told this story before, but the clarinet was dorky as hell. I can't believe I ever played that instrument. What?
Danielle played too.
You played the clarinet too? Yes, Danielle.
What'd you play growing up in school then? Wait, so you went to
sang.
school on the reserve, right?
No, so I
Okay,
went to
no.
school in Napanee, which is the town right beside the reserve.
Elementary and high school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I just did like all the singing solos in the plays and stuff
so you
like
were
that.
cool
Like
shit.
yeah.
There's only one or two people that sang, right? Like the good ones.
Were you, did you do like, you said in the plays and stuff like that, did you like performances and all that stuff too? Like in, I guess, like more of other arts related genres, or just focused on singing?
Yeah, I just focused on singing, and then I was like, well, I went to like a private little Christian school my parents sent me to, and we had just like Christmas plays and stuff. So everybody was acting and everybody was singing. So I wasn't really the star of the show, but definitely had a couple singing solos. And I didn't start playing the piano until I got into like high school. My mom taught me because she plays. Yeah.
Oh, so your whole family is pretty musically.
Yeah. Yeah, my mom
talented.
sings, dad sings. Dad is great at the guitar, mom's great at the piano. And then my brothers think they can sing, but it's not the prettiest
Yeah, it's like
thing
Ricky.
ever.
No, I know. So did I ever tell a story how I tried out for Jesus in our high school musical?
No, well, please tell us. Is when you
So-
had long hair as well?
Yeah, and so grade
Did
12.
you actually?
Yeah,
Well, that would have been very
grade 12
appropriate.
rolls around in high school, and I'm like, everybody knows I have zero musical talent, like absolutely zero. Like just
You can't even dance on rhythm.
nothing. No, I'm just like, I just have none of it.
Sing a song right now.
Yeah. Lose all listeners immediately.
Someone fire up Rick's karaoke song.
Yeah, we'll show you after, Dory.
Yeah.
So grade 12 rolls around.
I think she should worry.
Yeah. Grade 12 rolls around. I got long hair.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, fairly fit too. So the school play.
Fairly fit.
Pause. What does that have to do?
Jesus is shirtless.
Okay, fair.
So the school play is.
Yeah, I'm fairly fit too.
Yeah, the school play is Jesus Christ Superstar, and I remember seeing the poster for it. It was like a Jesus looking dude, like long hair, shirtless, with like he had the thorn crown. And I looked at the picture. I was like, "Fucking looks like me. I'm gonna fucking try out for Jesus." Mind you, and this is my own fault too. I was so naive. Like, I just thought you went up there, they play a song for you, and you just sing the song. I didn't know you have to read the notes on the fucking page.
Yeah.
So I get up there, they're like, okay, ready? So we're gonna play like B minor tempo or I don't know, some like musical gibberish. And here's the words and there's the notes. I was like, okay, can you play it first? He's like, what? I was like, I want to hear it first so I can like sing it how I hear it. He's like, that's not how it goes. I was like, oh. He's like, have you ever sang? I was like, no, I'm really bad at it. He's like, why would you try out for Jesus? And I'm like, I know I have long hair and I'm like pretty fit.
I look like Jesus.
The guy's like, do you really want to do this right now? I was like, you can be a guard if you want. So I signed up to be a guard. And I was actually supposed to have 3 lines in the play. And then long story short, I had another commitment that same weekend. So I bailed on the being a guard.
A lot of this makes sense now. Ricky will do it. Like Ricky is down just to do things that he finds like interesting or like kind of cool, which is like nothing wrong with that. Everyone should do that. Like just if you think something's cool, try. Like what's the worst that happens? But you literally do like anything that just might.
Yeah, things are interesting. Fun. Yeah, it might be fun. So and I was so mad. So I was supposed to be this guard, and there's 3 of us, and I was the only one with lines, and it turned out that like the camp that like I was a leader at like our camp within the school, and it fell on the same weekend. And I was so mad that I couldn't do it. So I told one of my friends, I was like, look, I'm going to delay this so that you get the line. My friend Blake McDonald. So I was
shout out.
Yeah, big shout out. So I was like, oh, sorry. Oh, awkward. So I was like, I'm going to not tell the instructor about that I can't go. So we'll tell him at the last minute so you get the lines and like the other 2 guards don't get the lines. Because there's one guy that could like was better suited for it. So long story short, I told him like the day before, I was like, hey, I'm not going to make the play. Like I went to the practices and everything. I'm like, I'm not going to make the play. He's like, what are we going to do? I was like, don't worry. I talked to Blake. Blake knows the lines. He's going to crush it. No.
Did Blake get the lines?
Blake got the lines.
Good guy, Rick.
I love that from Blake.
It's like this is what like, that was like the sneaky plan in high school. Like we got this all mapped out.
Yeah, you planned ahead.
What was your high school play? Do you guys have high school plays? Obviously.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't remember high school much.
I wasn't in any of them. I don't know. I did a lot of co-op. So grade like 11 and 12, basically, I just got co-op credits for music and never went to school.
Well, how did you co-op for music?
Well, I signed with Wax when I was in grade 12.
Okay.
And I was like, look, like this is what I'm doing. I did like a little singing show and stuff like that before I signed with Wax, and they were like, yeah, okay, we'll do a co-op credit. Just send us your demos that you're making and recording and stuff. And
we screwed that up.
Wow.
I sat through math class with cosine and sine and all the other lines that we have to calculate the whatever under.
Well, I still had to do obviously English and something else in like grade 12, the basics. But
how old are you, by the way?
I'm 21.
Okay, so high school's like 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 or 4,
give or take.
Yeah, something like that.
And we're fairly.
Yeah.
How old are you?
30, 31, 32.
32. Yeah.
It was George's birthday this past weekend. That's why.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. You know what's interesting? I have a point. Like, it's so funny. Like, I was talking to different people throughout this week or whatever, just numerous people. And people were like, oh, I saw you did this or whatever or that. And I was like, oh, yeah, like, it was my birthday. And I don't expect people to say, like, happy birthday. But it's so interesting when people, like, some people will be like, oh, happy belated birthday. And some will be like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Or you'll be, I did the, like, recently, I was like with 2 people, and one asked me next to the person, I said it. One person said, oh, happy belated birthday. The other person's like, nice. It's just, I just find that really interesting. I observed that a lot this last week. And again, I don't care. I don't need people to, I don't post stuff. Typically don't post on my social media and all that. I don't need people to DM me like, happy birthday. Like, I'm too old for that stuff. But I just found that so interesting that like, you know what I mean?
I
When
get
you're
it.
around somebody.
I feel like I would say happy birthday.
No, that's what I mean. It's just a common courtesy. Like, oh, like,
Yeah.
he's like, oh, it's his birthday. You're like, hi, birthday. My birthday was a week ago. But
Good thing I did.
it was like the day. No. It was not actually. Yeah,
It's like mental note.
Actually, yeah.
I'm about to get called out.
I wouldn't have brought it up had you not done that.
Yeah.
But like,
I hope
didn't-
not.
Yeah, obviously. But like, I think the first one that happened was like 2 days after, and I was like, I told somebody, and yeah, anyways, they were like, oh, nice. It's like, it's still like 2 days. You can still say happy belated birthday. Anyways, I observe things that are probably most people wouldn't give a shit about, but yeah, I found that very interesting.
So I'm going to get back on track here with you have a showcase coming up.
Yeah.
Well, we got a little sidetracked there. That's why I'm going to
I don't really care. My birthday's not important.
Yeah, May 10th.
Yeah, May 10th at
Supermarket Kensington.
there we go.
Yeah. I'm very excited. It's my first showcase really back because when I first started releasing music, it was like the February right when COVID started. So I've never been able to like play any live shows. So this is like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'm super pumped. I'm really excited.
Do you have you played like even like remotely like smaller shows or not showcases like in front of like fairly decent sized crowds before?
When I was younger, like before I was doing my own songs and like had released them, I would just do like little gigs here and there and whatnot. But yeah, this is my first show performing my songs.
You got the family coming out and everything?
Oh yeah, basically the whole res is coming. All my friends, all my family, they're all booked Airbnbs and they're all coming up, hanging out.
I love that.
Yeah,
Are you excited or nervous or?
I'm really excited. So I was very nervous before, but I've had 2 rehearsals and the 2 guys that are playing with me are like absolutely incredible, and if it was tomorrow, I'm ready to go. Like I'm really excited. It went well, all the rehearsals. So.
Did you ever get like stage fright? Ever get nervous? Or were you like just feel like you're born to do this?
I mean, there's always those butterflies right before you go on stage, but as soon as I get out there, it's like not nervous anymore.
Yeah.
You just get used to it.
Well, who did we talk to recently that says when they get there, it's like you see people, but you don't actually see any specific person. It's just like
No, it's just
people.
a bunch of heads.
Yeah.
Literally.
Was it Eric Punzo? Yeah, it was Eric Punzo. So he did a showcase and he was talking about how like when he got out there to set up his music, he had like saw his brother and all his friends like front row and he's like setting up music and they're like chanting his name. So he's got like set up as they're chanting. Then he walks back off stage to like just walk back on to get ready.
Mm-hmm.
He says when he was setting up, he could notice every single person there. And then when he came on to actually perform, it was just like a blur. It was just faces.
Yeah.
No specific people.
Yeah, for sure. And like the lights go dark and it's just like you can barely see anything, especially if there's a spotlight on you. You can't see anything in the crowd. And it's kind of nice because then if you're making eye contact with somebody and you're like singing to them, and it's kind of awkward, but
Really? I would love to get serenaded one day. Gonna be at a concert. Dua Lipa's just gonna lock eyes with me. And
have you seen those TikToks of like Doja Cat like staring into people's souls
No,
while
I
she's
haven't.
on singing? Yeah, it's.
That's
I
what
like
I'm gonna
Doja
do
Cat.
tonight.
What do you mean? Oh, look at them.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean? I thought you were going to the game today. And then forget me. You guys keep conversation going. I'm still thinking about that person that didn't say happy birthday to me.
This episode is about George's birthday and how you
No,
didn't
no.
say happy birthday. Every single person message him now.
No. Don't do that.
What's I love asking people this question. What's your dream venue to play at?
Oh, I would love to play at the Scotiabank Arena just because like I grew up around here and you know it's where I saw a bunch of artists when I was younger, and so that's definitely.
That's fair.
I'd also love to play the Grammys, but
But what?
Yeah, no one's ever said the Grammys. That's a good one.
that's
actually.
for sure my biggest dream would be to sing at the Grammys.
So if you're singing at the Grammys, there's a good chance you're kind of nominated too.
Yeah.
So it's like a bonus.
Exactly.
I'm assuming then you still watch the Grammys and all that stuff?
Yeah. I've seen like clips and stuff from this past one. I didn't get to see the whole thing because my parents don't have cable anymore. But yeah.
Like a lot of people.
I love watching just all the Grammys performances. It's so fun.
It's like the Grammys in 30 minutes, just the performances.
Yeah,
Do
honestly.
you watch the Grammys?
I used to really love them. I used to love it, and then just like COVID changed so much for me. Where it's like after like they did these like kind of partial Grammys, where it's like select few people, only the nominees were there, and everyone's wearing masks in the crowd. I don't know. I got away from it. This year, I watched the performances afterwards. Like love live music, so I don't know why I said that. That has nothing to do with watching the Grammys. I have no idea why I said that.
Don't worry, but I do that all the time.
Yeah, so I did the same thing as you. I just watched the performances. Same with like Victoria's Secret fashion show. I love the performances for that. Like I think, you know, I used to say this all the time. If I could be any person at any given point in time, Justin Timberlake at the Victoria's Secret fashion show in like 2010 was one of my answers. You are arguably the most popular singer in the world, performing the most popular song in the world on arguably the most beautiful stage in the world.
Yeah.
And he said, and then I changed my answer to Sidney Crosby. Golden
Really
Goal.
interesting that you could pick so many things to be like. That you could be if you could be any person, any point in time, like you can be like.
What's yours?
Like you could be the person that was Neil Armstrong, first man on the moon. You could be the guy with Einstein when he invented electricity or anything. You chose.
Yeah.
To do that.
JT.
That is just the most Ricky answer ever.
What's yours? And then to you too.
If I could be any
If you
person,
could be any one person at any one point in time.
Oh, for sure, first man on the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the first person to step on a planet. That's crazy. Like, either that or you say, okay, like go back to like what Adam and Eve and see if you would be the first person in the history of anything with nothing that exists. Like,
I don't know. It's just
I think I'd be the first. Yeah.
Neil Armstrong?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the guy on the grassy knoll to see who's John Kennedy.
Wait, what? Oh.
No, I'm kidding. I don't care about that at all. I'm just trying to be stupid.
There's not like a moment for me, but like I would love to be Nat King Cole.
Who? Sorry.
King Cole. He's a blues singer? No.
Yeah, he's like a jazz singer, an old jazz
yeah.
singer. Yeah.
Nat King Cole.
I love him.
Jazz.
Wow, that's a cool answer.
Yeah, you think?
I think
Yeah.
so, yeah. It's an interesting one, right? Like,
That is definitely a unique
I've never
answer.
got that. Like,
You guys even know who Nat King Cole is?
yeah. So.
Frank Sinatra too, like they're just so cool. And I love like when you look at their performances, there's no auto-tune, there's no nothing. It's just pure talent and their voices are insane. I don't know if you guys like jazz. But
Yeah, I listen to jazz pretty often, like not most mornings, but I would say at least like once, twice a week in the morning. Like my girlfriend and I will get up, like get our day started, and like just kind of chill, whatever. If we're like meditate, journal, read, whatever. Like usually start our mornings nice and easy. But we'll put jazz on, jazz, sometimes classical, but more jazz.
Yeah, every Christmas, my mom has this old CD player, and she has the Nat King Cole Christmas album, and it's just playing all Christmas Day over and over. And I think that's a big part of why I love.
Like old
love it.
jazz.
Makes sense, yeah.
Old jazz is probably my favorite. Like old jazz stuff with a lot of trumpets in it and stuff like that. Yeah,
so cool.
Very cool. That actually was while you were talking. You brought up Frank Sinatra. It made me think and like anything about. I like going to concerts. Like not nearly as much as Rick does. Like Rick's for a guy with no musical skill, like biggest musical fan
You would
I
think
know.
I would have picked up on like even a tiniest bit of like something.
Yeah.
Nope. Still nope.
But one thing for me is that I consider myself pretty nostalgic, and like I always look back into like eras and like, wow, it would have been so cool to have done this or seen that. And with the question you asked about if you could be a person anytime, like one thing that got me thinking of is like, what performance would I have liked to go back and see, or like maybe not one specific one, but one artist. And like I would have loved to be able to go
great
back
question.
to I'm gonna ask you guys next. Is I wish I could go back to like see Sinatra play in like a dive bar in like New York City or Las Vegas, or like maybe not a dive bar, but like a smoky room with like banquettes, whatever, everyone's smoking cigarettes inside,
Yes.
having a scotch, like
Yeah.
see
Candles.
Sinatra, or like Nat
Totally.
King Cole or something like that. I think would be, but specifically I'm gonna stick with Sinatra, even though I don't know all his music off by heart, just like that vibe of what was the 60s, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably, right?
60s,
Like
70s, yeah.
60s, like either in old Vegas or old LA or something like that. I think would be, if I could transport now to some point in time, I think that's what I would do. So
I completely agree.
now my question
So-
to you, where would you, if you could go see one performance or a time period, keep it general,
Well,
whatever, what would you
so
do?
there's that answer for me, but also something that I always watched on YouTube growing up was when Whitney Houston did the anthem at the Super Bowl. It was like,
Oh, another very interesting.
was it the
answer.
Super Bowl? I don't know if it was the Super Bowl, but she sang the national anthem, and it was like the most incredible thing.
Which
ever.
one was it?
That's a good answer.
It's a very random answer. Like you went from like you
Yeah.
went from a person like with like old jazz to like a sports reference. I'm not saying this in like I'm not trying to be like generalizing what you like, but like somebody doesn't often go from that space to that space. That's
Yeah.
a very broad like answer. It's very cool.
Yeah, thank you. I love Whitney Houston. She's incredible.
Very talented.
Yeah.
91.
Super Bowl
Wow.
91.
Oh, so you wouldn't even have been born then.
No.
That's crazy.
I'm a
So to go
2000
back and watch that. Good for you.
Yeah, I mean, I always watch
So
YouTube videos of like Whitney Houston, Christina Aguilera, like all those.
I want to ask you the follow-up question, but I want to just stay on that point. Do you look back at performances from like before your time to get inspiration, or just even for like just for enjoyment?
Just for enjoyment, yeah. Yeah, they're so incredible. And her voice, I just can't. It's so good. So I just enjoy just going back and watching them all.
Yeah, very cool.
Especially if I'm like watching a hockey game or something, and then I hear the national anthem, then I go back. I'm like, oh, remember this one? Remember this one? Remember?
Wow, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
We're like
I-
Beyonce, she killed it.
Yeah.
Like the anthem of all songs.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it was a big moment.
The American anthem is like just moving. I listen to it.
No, I'm only laughing because I knew he was going to say that because Rick gets so fired up by the American
So
anthem.
I'm the guy that's a Leaf fan.
Yeah.
So I go to Leaf game and like during the American anthem, especially because Martina, the singer at the Leaf game, I believe she's so unbelievably talented.
Yeah, she is.
When I hear her
I saw Ricky fangirl Martina once at a Leafs game the first time he met her. He bumped into her. He was like, Martina, you're incredible. Oh my, can I get a picture with? I have the picture on my
love
phone.
that.
I love Martina.
Anyways.
And I don't get starstruck often. It's just
No.
like people that like, I'm like, I watch this like, essentially like teenage girl go from like, she's been doing it for what, 7 years now? 8 years?
Yeah, a long time.
So she was a kid. I think she was like 15 when she started. Like,
and
she,
every single
she didn't even have
Leafs
braces
home
before she
game.
started. Now she's like past the braces point.
Yeah.
You know, like she's just unbelievable. And I remember we met her. I was like, Martina, I'm like a big fan.
So funny.
I love the way you sing the anthem.
You were singing the
My
American anthem.
jam.
Yeah, the American anthem is again, the Canadian anthem's cool, and like I'm the guy that'll yell the random like woo like
Yeah.
at the quiet parts. But the American anthem, I just stand there. I'm just like, I feel like I was in the war. Like,
The American anthem is the best anthem in the world.
yeah, it is.
It's a good
Like
anthem.
it is just it's
Yeah.
like it encapsulates what America is.
yeah.
Yeah. Makes you want to run through a brick wall.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking. Like it honestly fires me up.
But
I want to ask you the question about where would you teleport or where would you go to right
one
now?
performance, I would probably. So I'd want to see MJ. I never saw MJ.
Yeah, that would be.
I think he would, and I loved his music too. Just he stopped performing when I really got into concerts, but I think he'd be really cool. Or the Live Aids concert. I just feel like that, like
yeah.
Prince. That point in time, like I just was one of those kind of performances.
I'd love to see Queen.
Oh, sorry, Queen, not Prince.
Yeah.
I feel like that one would have been a cool one.
Yeah, totally.
Like as we were talking about, I thought about MJ's Super Bowl performance. I don't like Super Bowl performances sometimes because it's too much about the show, and it's like let's jam in as much as we can in 15 minutes and make it amazing. Where it's like you don't fully get to actually see the artist.
Yeah.
Like even this year's show, you had like what 6 artists, and it's like everyone does their like 2, 3, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Like 50 Cent did like 30 seconds a minute.
Yeah.
And all you remember is him upside down looking like $1.50, right? Like
What?
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's like jam-packed entertainment, and I get that. I'd rather see like a full concert.
Yeah, each individual artist for a full. Yeah.
What did you think about did you watch the Super Bowl halftime show this year?
Yeah, I did.
What did you think about it?
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't like insanely excited about any of the artists. Like, they're not like my absolute favorites, but I mean, I liked it. I always love watching them.
What did you think about the national anthems?
I honestly don't even remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
I might have
She's
like
an anthem person. You don't
yeah.
know.
I think I just like turned it on for the halftime show.
I thought it was pretty good, the halftime show. Like I thought it was really good. But the thing is too, I also really like last year's with The Weeknd, and I remember people saying like,
Yeah, everybody hated it.
Why?
I'm with George, I loved
Yeah.
it.
yeah,
I loved The
I thought
Weeknd
it was really
because again,
cool.
it was 15 minutes and it was The Weeknd, and it was like him start to finish. You heard like 5 songs. He had the biggest song in the world at the time, Blinding Lights. So it's like, I don't know, to me that was cool. Like he spent like $1 million or $1.5 million of his own money to
that
set
was
up
a
the stage.
big show.
Yeah, and he had
that's why it was like a big. He was on the floor in the field.
it was
like
crazy.
I thought it was good.
And everybody hated on him. Like people go back and talk about Madonna. I remember Madonna was like a culturally successful halftime show, and I fucking hated it because she lip sang the whole time, and it was so like it was so obvious. I know most of them do lip sing just because like you're dancing, you're singing, you're moving around, and you have to. I get that, but it's like, yo, like okay, Madonna looked good. She's 60 or whatever, so that's why people are going crazy. But it's like, yo, I don't care. Adele used to just stand on the stage. Literally, Adele's my favorite show I've ever seen, and she doesn't move, or she didn't at the time. She just sways side to side, and it was so amazing.
I just want to wear a beautiful gown, have my spotlight, and have it be about my voice, you know. And I just want to serenade the audience, and yeah.
Have you ever seen Justin Bieber perform?
I have, yeah. I saw him in
thoughts?
Ottawa. He was great. I liked him.
Okay,
you didn't?
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
So I love.
I feel like I feel like you have an opinion about.
No,
this.
just because it kind of plays on this topic with like Madonna, how she like singing and dancing, and it's about a show. Justin Bieber is arguably one of the greatest talents of our generation. Like, there's no denying that. He's an unbelievably talented singer, songwriter, producer, everything you name it. He does it. He can sing, he can dance, he can probably freaking act if he really wanted to. He's got it all. I've seen him perform probably about 5 or 6 times now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and every single time. And maybe it's just because I'm expecting so much out of him because he is arguably the biggest talent of our generation, that I'm expecting so much out of him that I always walk out feeling disappointed. I'm like, I never walked out thinking that was 100% worth my time, effort, energy, money, everything.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that he gave to me what the crowd was giving to him almost. And like, you know, you see some performers that come, and like rappers are some of the best because you see it's either they want to be there or they don't.
Yeah.
And some of them, like, they give it 110% every single night. And it's very obvious with rappers. Like, some you could tell are just like, you know, messed up on like whatever they're messed up on.
Yeah.
And they're just like, they're just going through the motions. And other ones, like Drake is the best example. Drake comes to Toronto and you feel that he's having the best performance of his life.
I'd like to see that,
right?
For sure.
And it's maybe he is because it's Toronto, but you feel that from him.
When I saw Justin Bieber too, I've only seen him once, like recently. It was, well, not recently, really. It was like 2016 maybe, and that's when he was kind of going through it pretty bad. And
with what, it was a Lyme disease and shit too.
Yeah, and I think
he had Lyme disease.
I think so, didn't he?
What?
He had a disease that started with an L, I think.
That's interesting. Sorry, continue your point there while she looks. Awkward.
But you could just tell he was like so sad, and I kind of know what you mean about just feeling like kind of after the show.
It's a shame because again, maybe I'm the wrong one because everybody seemed to think it was the best concert in the world.
His voice.
Yeah, again, you could play his radio. So you could just play the radio with the performance in the background. It's automatically a 5 out of a 10. He doesn't even need to do anything. It's just because his music's so freaking good. The show was amazing, but you're there for him. You're not there for the show. You're there for him. And I just didn't feel it. Danielle, did he have Lyme disease? He did, right?
That's crazy.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, you don't get rid of it. Well,
okay.
I think I know someone that got I think you can get rid of it. I know someone, don't know him personally through social media that from
beat it.
Yeah, I think no. What?
That beat Lyme disease.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
But anyways, I didn't know Bieber had Lyme disease. That's crazy.
Yeah, because I remember that was the big thing about his like controversy and why he was like he canceled shows and like his skin got really bad and like
I did not.
He looked
know
like
this.
he was like on drugs and stuff, and that he came out publicly and was like, yeah, I'm not an alcoholic, I'm not a drug abuser, I have Lyme disease and that's why I lost all this weight and I look like shit. In other words,
I thought what? Oh, I thought you're not in your head. You say yeah, but yeah, I thought though. Sorry, just to stick on the Bieber thing. I thought he did have problems with all that stuff too before, because that's when he went to that church in New York where he found Jesus or whatever, and
He did come up with an article saying that
yeah,
I look like this because I want to
yeah.
Yeah, probably a little mix of
Yeah,
both.
probably.
yeah, because I think
Everybody goes through it when they're a teenager.
because he did have a substance abuse problem.
Yeah.
Like he went to that, you know what I'm talking about, right?
The church.
That church where those guys dressed like they're like 16 years old, which is really interesting in and of itself. We can talk about that all day.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Who's your
I
dream,
can tell you my opinions on that. Never mind my birthday.
dream artist to work with and then perform with? And then George, same question to you too. If you were
Isn't that the same question? Similar?
No.
So
Perform with and work with are different, right?
I love my sad ballads, as we've discussed like 10 times already. Louis Capaldi is like, I would love to work with him. I love also the Kid Laroi. He's more recent, but like I love how emotional he is in all his songs. I'd also love, obviously, Nat King Cole. Can't do that now, but
Nat King Cole pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. He was around a long time ago, I think.
Yeah.
I know he is.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. I'm not laughing at you. I'm just like, yeah, it's
Also Bruno Mars, though.
Bruno Mars.
Oh,
is,
yeah.
I want to see him in concert so bad.
He's good.
I want to see the 24 karat
He's
show.
good. He's short.
Yeah, very short.
Yeah.
That's okay.
And I didn't
He
know this.
also got busted for
Yeah,
speaking of substance abuse.
I read an article that he doesn't. All of his performers that are on stage with him have to be under certain height requirements. They don't make him look shorter than he actually is.
Really?
He's like 5'5".
Yeah,
Probably.
he's like he's like really small.
He's really short.
And his name is like Peter Gene Hernandez, I think.
Is it?
I didn't
Bruno
know that.
Mars is a pretty cool name from the.
Right?
Amazing.
I wonder
Yeah,
how
like-
he came up with it.
Yeah, I wonder actually.
Oh, you sound like that was like you were about to tell us.
Yeah.
You said
No,
that so yeah.
I have
I wonder
no
how this
clue.
came up. Well, actually,
Bruno Mars, I actually used to never like his music, and then I started liking him. I liked this song when it came out with
Mark
yeah. What's that
Manson.
song? Yeah.
24 Karat Magic?
Ooh.
Never had much faith.
That
in
one.
love.
Yeah. What's that called?
I don't know.
I don't want to sing. I can sing it. I can sing it. I just don't want to because I'm not good. But the point is that I started liking him when that album came out because he performed it on Saturday Night Live. At the time, like that stretch of time, like I was always been a fan of Saturday Night Live. But that time I was watching a lot, and they brought a lot of good musical acts on that I was otherwise not like. Not a fan of, I guess. I just didn't really pay attention to them. Bruno Mars was one of them. There was someone else at the time, and it's slipping my mind now. But he was so sick. Watching him perform it live, I was like, oh, this is really catchy. Like, he's a really good performer. Like, he's a bit of a showman too.
Yeah,
but it's
for
not,
sure.
I think, it's not as big. It's not like dancing across the stage. It's more like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
little
yeah.
shuffle.
Cool little moves, like maybe a little
Smooth.
moonwalk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So and I saw that. I'm like, wow, he's like, this is a pretty good performer. And since then I really like his music. There was another point about this. Oh, so Saturday Night Live, I think for me, I don't know what it is, but when I watch the show and I see people perform, I could not care about your music. And like watching them perform there, I'll be like, oh, now I like them. Like I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the magic of like thinking like, oh, it's New York City. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
The stage is cool too.
The stage is kind of cool.
Condensed,
like,
yeah.
Yeah. So like I'll see acts that I otherwise would never have found. And I remember the other one that I was thinking of now. Greta Van Fleet. Greta Van Fleet. I saw perform there and I thought
You watched.
I watched, yes. I watched them perform on Saturday Night Live. Probably never would have ever searched their music for any other reason. And they're very like the lead singer, like is very odd. But his performance there was like so cool. Like, and I was like watching, I was like, oh, this guy's amazing.
His
Like,
voice is crazy.
crazy.
My boyfriend listens to them. He likes them.
They are. I think they're so cool. 3 brothers. They all look identical. 2 of them are twins. Anyways, I watched them on the show. I was like, oh, these guys are so talented. This is so cool. And they sound like old rock, which I'm not like. I don't hate, don't love. I'm just whatever. I don't like. It's respect for what it is. But then I saw them, and now I can't stop listening to their music. And this is like now a few years, and then we happen to see them at Austin City Limits end of last year. They are so cool. But yeah, it's just weird that like Saturday Night Live for me, when I see, to go circle the point back, when I see someone perform on that stage, I don't know what it is. Maybe they just have a good knack for curating the right artist at the right time when they're like, you know, popping off, if you will.
Yeah, but I also think it's like that sense of, it's almost like that validation, you know, like that's that stage where it's people are just boom, they're about to hit that.
Yeah.
Because like I remember seeing Mumford on it.
Oh, yeah.
Right before, I think it was right before the Grammys. So again, I don't like folk music. Normally I don't like folk music, but I remember seeing them and I didn't listen to it, right? I was just like cool flipping through it, and I remember heard of these guys. And then I watched the Grammys a couple months later, and like Mumford cleaned up at the Grammys. Like they won a whole bunch of awards and got nominated. So the next day I'm like, hey, who the fuck are these Mumford and Sons people? I listened to them like, oh my God, I fucking love these people. And then I kind of play. So it's like, maybe it's like that perfect, maybe Saturday Night Live has that knack for finding people at that perfect moment.
Yeah.
Right before they, okay, obviously once they get superstars on too, but maybe like they're the best at finding not undiscovered talent, but
like
talent
right
at
before
that
they pop off.
right at
Yeah.
that pop moment.
Yeah. I think
And maybe they also help artists hit that pop moment too, because
Yeah,
Saturday Night
I'm
Live
sure.
is fucking massive.
well, it's true. And Mumford, I remember because I think that's the first time I saw them, and that's another band that I liked because of the show, because I think that was when they, you know how Marcus Mumford plays the 1-foot kick drum. There's no drummer in the band; he just hits the drum. I think that was on Saturday Night Live, where he had like a bass drum at his foot and he was playing it while guitaring, and I was like, this is so bizarre. Like he doesn't have a
banjoing
drummer.
and
He's just
shit.
kicking. He's hitting a kick drum. I was like, who are these guys? And after that, I was like, these guys are unbelievable. So I think, yeah, Saturday Night Live also to the point of like being New York City, it's like the wonderment of it. It's like, even though it's like you're on a stage, on a sound stage, not like you're not in the city, it almost makes you like feel like you're in New York. I don't know. It's just
It's very
special.
intimate. It's cool.
And that's another aspect of it. Yeah.
Wait, George, did you answer my question? If
About
you were
who or-
if you were a musician, let's say you were a famous drummer or something, I don't know.
No,
Famous clarinet player. Who would you want to perform with, and who would you want to work with?
famous clarinet player. That's just. Who would I want to work with?
Who would you want to work with on a song, on a track, and then who would you want to be on stage performing with?
Who has
frig.
clarinet solos in their song?
Okay, so I think I'd want to work with Gary Clark Jr. and I want to be on stage with Greta Van Fleet
Okay.
because I did the only time that I could like because when I see Greta Van Fleet on stage, they wear like they dress very 70s ish, but also hippie ish, and I could never pull that shit off. But I would dress like them on stage. They're all skinny like dudes and like things. I'd be like the fat guy dressed like them, like in that like crazy like flannelly stuff or whatever, tight like bell bottom pants. And I'm like, for one day I'd be cool, and then I'd never do it again. But yeah, Greta Van Fleet on stage.
That's a good one.
Yeah. How about you?
On stage, I'd want to do someone hype like Drake. You know, Drake would just be hyped to be on stage with. Like, I feel like he just commands the room, and he just, you know, he could put a stage in the middle of the thing that's hanging off four things and run around. To work with, I'd probably say like Kanye. I feel like Kanye would be like crazy to be in the like studio with.
It'd be
Yeah,
crazy in general to
probably.
be with.
Man, yeah, I just
Guys,
feel like I'd be like Kanye would just boom, yeah, I guess so. That'd be my two.
Cool.
But won't ever happen for me because I have literally zero musical talent. Even if I had all the money in the world, I don't even think I could get in a room to make
No, it
music.
would hurt the reputation too much.
They'd be like, no, I can't. This, no. Or maybe I just like put my name at the end, as like executive producer.
Yeah, you could buy an EP.
I could do that.
If
If I win the lotto or something.
pivot back.
Yeah, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back for the third time.
What did it feel like when you got signed to Wax when you were 18?
17,
Wow.
I think. Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, Derek, Virginia to Vegas. You guys know him?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did a cover of one of his songs and tagged him on Instagram, and he was like, whoa, like I want to set up a meeting with you
Wait,
with
that's
my
how it
label.
started?
Yeah. And then I just went in and sang a song, and
That's
yeah.
cool.
they were like, yeah,
Does that
let's
feel
do
good, like
this.
Bieber moment? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
put music on YouTube and.
It was so cool that it was Derek and I'm the only artist that he ever A&R'd or whatever.
That
to-
is cool.
to sign to
What does
Wax.
that mean, A&R?
You like sign artists. I don't know. You find the talent and then bring them on. I could be way off.
Our
We're all staring at
I
Kate.
just- I
We're all
don't-
staring
I
at
know
Kate.
I always hear it in the music world, and I've never asked. I always feel like I'm going to be a dummy by asking this question, but
Artists and repertoire.
so that means like when you like endorse someone, I guess.
You like talent scout.
Got you. Okay. I didn't know what that. I
Yeah,
didn't know
so
what that
Derek was saying like he's an A&R for Wax Records, and I was the only one he ever like found. So
meant. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's like a scout talent identifier, talent scout kind of thing. Oh, cool. I didn't know that. I never knew that.
You like talent scout. Yeah, you kind of help like the development of the artist.
Got you.
kind of like
Take
a
him
little
under
bit-
your
yeah,
wing.
like a mentor. Almost.
Okay.
Yeah, a
Okay.
little
Got
bit.
it. Sorry.
yeah,
Continue
he's
there.
like a big brother.
Yeah.
I love him. He's very sweet.
That's awesome.
But it might like, and we did this the other day because we had a teenager on, Asia, who's, you know, she's kind of doing a lot of things, and she's still in high school. I think she's in grade 12. What was it like being in high school, getting signed? Like, is this like, were your friends talking about it? Was it like a cool thing, or were you like, kind of
Yeah.
shy about it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, only like my close friends really knew, but yeah, it was just really surreal. I couldn't really believe it.
So one of your you didn't share it, like you weren't like when you first got signed, like you didn't like try to keep it in
Print out
wraps for a bit, or, like, you
posters
just-
and put it all over the school.
No, definitely
I would've
not.
told
Well, I was
everyone.
doing like all
I would
my
have told the world if I had got signed to.
I was
record
doing
deal.
all my like co-op credits too, so I wasn't even around
yeah.
that much. I was just like fully going in and like driving to Toronto and Montreal and working with producers and just writing a ton of music for a couple years until I just released stuff.
What's the part that you love most about it?
The writing, for sure, and singing. just singing and recording. I love being in the studio because my dad has a studio in our basement, and he's like a big sound guy, and he has all the great stuff, all the good mics and everything. And so I grew up recording YouTube covers and posting them. And so, yeah, the studio's always just been like a second home to me, I guess. And so when I started working with writers and everybody in the city, and I felt kind of like, wow, I feel like such a little girl in the big city because I'm like such a small town person. And then I felt at home when I was like in the booth. So
Okay, so now on the flip side, what's the part you like the least?
just, I guess, all the business stuff.
That's
for sure.
You just don't like it, or just don't care. Like you,
I just
like
want to make my music and sing it and have fun.
so you just don't care about it. You just don't have to deal with it, kind of.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What about like touring? Is that a part you're like really excited to start doing?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'd love to open for anybody, really. I just want to go perform.
So what does the next little bit entail for you? Like, what is the like now that performances are coming back, all that sort of stuff? Like, what does the next, let's say, 12 months look like for you? Is it
Just like gonna continue writing a ton of songs. I'm gonna release a bunch and hopefully find somebody to open for. I know we're looking. So
Who's your dream person to open for right now?
Lewis.
yes, a diehard Lewis fan?
I love him so much. He's such a cutie too. He's so like funny, and I saw him right before COVID in Toronto, and he was just like, his voice is just as incredible as it is in the recordings.
Those are some of the best performers. Was like, it literally. I'm like, are they lip syncing? Because it sounds so perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I can't tell. Like, either they're doing an amazing job,
Yeah.
or that's just how they actually sound. You're like, holy crap.
Yeah, no, it's insane, and he hits all those super high, intense, belting notes, and I'm like, how does he do this every night? It's crazy. But no, he was awesome. I'd love to see him again, and I would love to open for him.
If you could have it anyway, like, would you tour 365 days a year?
No, probably not. I wouldn't. I love my dogs and, having a little bit of me time, but I want to get out there for a while.
What kind of dogs you have?
I have a pit bull and I have a little Maltese Yorkie rescue.
So complete opposites.
Yeah, complete opposites. The Maltese Yorkie, Lily, she's like my family dog. And then my boyfriend and I got a pit bull. She's a year old now. So, yeah, definitely complete
What's
opposites.
the pit bull's name?
Lila.
Aww.
Yeah. Lily is for Lily of the Valley because I love the smell of those. And then Lila is for lilacs.
Okay.
Love that. There's a really, well, I guess kind of related, but kind of random. In my condo, there's a guy on my floor who has two dogs, and he has one that's a rescue, and it looks like a pit bull, but it looks like a mix or something. He doesn't know what it is. It's like he thinks it's a pit bull with a beagle or something. I think it is the cutest, nicest dog I have ever met in my life. It is so like, it just stares at you. Like it looks like it sits like we'll get in the elevator, and I look down and it's just looking at me with these eyes, and I'm like
wagging.
Yeah, just like, well, sometimes it'll just sit like just perfect still. Other times it'll move, like it'll wag its tail, or like he'll say like what's the dog's name? I can't remember now, but it is. I'm not joking. I asked because I had a dog. It's a long story. Won't go into it. We still have it in the family, but I don't own it anymore. My sister does. I probably wouldn't get another dog at the place I am in my life because like just busy with work and life. But if that dog had a sister or brother that I could find, I would buy that dog. It is the nicest dog I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
So anyways, fun fact, if you're looking for a nice dog, from what I can tell, it's a beagle pit bull. The best dog I've ever seen. That's my story about beagles and pit bulls.
Yeah, well, mine is like
all like
super
sharing.
duper high energy, which like they all are pretty much, but she's literally the sweetest dog ever. Like all she wants to do is be around humans and other dogs, and she's always wagging her tail, which my Lily, the Maltese, she never wags her tail ever. And like Lila's just walking around, it's constantly hitting things and knocking things over, but I love it. It's so cute.
That's my brother's got two dogs. One's a Doberman, and it's about a year, maybe a year and a half, and it's one of the most well-behaved dogs I've met. And then the other dog is this little,
Like it's not a toy
a little
poodle.
shit.
It's like a little toy poodle, or it's like
Shih
a little
Tzu?
mini poodle.
It's a mini poodle or something.
it's
But
a
this
mini
thing
poodle.
just like barks and runs and just doesn't listen.
Ugh, I don't like yappy
John, if
little
you're
dogs.
listening, man, you guys gotta get Cooper better trained, man. Like
It just
I love
stares at you
Nala.
and barks.
Yeah, like Nala is the big
Yeah.
Doberman is like the coolest dog in the world.
I like
Scary,
that
but
name.
nice.
Yeah, Nala. Yeah, it's like it's massive. Like this thing's like big.
Like it's powerful. Like jumps. Its paws are like my hand.
Yeah, I didn't know
Well,
this, but
sorry, it's weird because it's big, but not like massive big. Like not like a
not thick.
like not like a husky big, like thick. But it's like medium, almost large. But its paws are like disproportionately large to its body.
Yeah.
If it jumps on you, like it feels like it can push you over.
yeah. And I didn't know this. I was holding the leash or something, maybe like a month ago, and someone's like, "Just be careful, because if it runs, it can like pull out your shoulder."
Yeah.
And I was like, actually, like, yeah, a dog that size and that strength, if you're not paying attention and it decides to run, like, it can literally dislocate your shoulder.
Well, yeah, I have kind of a story like that. Mine's only 60 pounds, so she's like a small.
Isn't 60 pounds big?
Well, not
For
for
a
a
dog?
pit bull. For her mom is 70 pounds and her dad's 120 pounds. And I was like, I really don't want her to get that big. And so she's 13 months now and she's been 60 pounds for like 4 months or
You
something.
got her on a diet or something?
No, she gets lots of treats. But yeah, she decided like a few months ago that she wanted to jump in the ditch on the side of the road. And I just wasn't paying attention. And it was like snowy and everything. And I thought the ditch like didn't go down, but I like fell right into the ditch and she like twisted my shoulder. It was a whole big thing on the side of the road.
And the problem is, like, when that happens, you're just like, you want to get mad, but you can't, because it's like a dog. Like, you can't get mad at the dog for wanting to run around and play.
and
You're just
sniff
like,
things. And
yeah, and you're just like, fuck, here I am with my shoulder dislocated. I'm borderline crying. Like, I'm still 2 kilometers away from my house because a stupid dog wants to just run around
Yeah.
all day. Like,
yeah, but she's better now though on the leash. We got the no pull leash where you hook it in the front, so if she tries to pull, just lifts her front paws up.
Oh, I never knew that was a thing. I didn't know. That's actually smart.
Yeah.
my brother got the collar that like zaps the dog when they bark.
For Cooper?
Yeah.
Thank
The
God.
problem is, it's like sometimes like when they bring it to like my parents' house, when I see them, sometimes they don't bring the leash or the collar, or like it's not charged or something. I'm like, okay, let's pull the collar. Like, let's get the collar on
Where
the
is it?
guy.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel bad. Like my family, we have 3 dogs. My sister has a dog, a toy poodle. My parents now have a mini golden doodle. My dad's got
They're
my
cute.
brother's got a husky. My parents' dog is really cute, the mini doodle. They used
I don't think I've met the mini doodle.
Melly. No.
Melly?
Melly.
Melly,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
So my parents used to have we had another dog. Our first dog we had was a black Labradoodle. And it was like a medium-sized dog, probably like Nala's size, but not as like strong.
Yeah,
Like Nala's more
definitely
thick.
not as strong.
But the dog we used to have, the Labradoodle, Ellie, was one of the. My dad always says this, and was probably the most well-behaved dog like ever. Just was hyper as a puppy, but always just like knew, like she would, when my dad was at the table or my mom, like she would just sit there and watch them eat, like just very like calm, wouldn't bark like crazy. I mean, she'd go like crazy at the door when someone came up, but
Yeah.
as dogs do.
That's the thing.
But she was good. Like she would get on the couch. If you were watching TV, she'd just sit next to you, wouldn't like bother you. Just very, very smart. Very smart dog. Now we have my parents, Ellie was put down. She was like, had like a bunch of problems. She was maybe like, I don't know, in human years, 14, 15, I don't even know. My mom, like recently retired, was like, bored at home, wanted another dog, and so got Melly, who is essentially a smaller golden version of Ellie, but she's got a ton of energy.
Yeah.
And she's a super cute dog, like very, very, very cute, and still very well behaved, but like it's now back in the puppy phase, so it's insanely hyper. And we don't all live at home, so when we all get together now for family dinners once a week, like, you know, there's always people in the house, so then Melly gets more excited because now she's seeing more people, and the other dogs come over, so it gets even more excited. And I walk in, there's days where it's like, those days are so drained, and you see the dog, and you look at her and she's so cute and you want to rub her a little bit, but then because she's so excited to see you, she just doesn't stop the whole night. It's like, man, you want to just please chill for like 1 minute.
Yeah.
But the dogs don't, they can't, and you're not going to yell at them. You're not like, hey, like, shut up, dog. It's just mean. It's just a dog being a dog. But it's like, you can't just chill out for 1 sec. And they'll sit and look at you, not being mean. They're just barking.
Wagging their tail.
Oh, yeah. Or they'll bark because if you don't look at them. And it's like, hey, come on, calm down. And they just keep going.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I love dogs. That's the only reason I won't get a dog now is because I know there's days where I come home and I'm like, I don't have time for this right now. I can't do this.
Just get one of the sleepy breeds.
But see, the thing is too, I like the hyper dog. I like Nala. Like I love big dogs, active dogs, hyper ones. Like they're nice.
Bigger the
And they
dog,
show you
the bigger the
affection.
shit.
That's a good point.
That's why I'll never have a big dog.
Yeah.
But that's true. And also,
120
living in a
pound
condo, with a big dog would be tough. Like your brother and Virgie have a place, so that's nice. Anyways, yeah, love Melly, like love the dog, but man, they're a handful. Like their dogs are a handful.
Yeah, it's not like a cat where you can just leave it for however
Yeah,
many
cats
days.
you can leave for like days. As long as they have food, they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Jump on shit.
Nah, cats ain't for me. I can't do it. I used to have one back in the day. Not me and my family, but yeah, we.
I feel like every family had a cat at some point.
Not mine because.
Did you have a cat?
My mom's allergic.
Like Smokey.
Your mom's allergic to cats, so you never had one?
Yeah.
Allergic to just cats or? Like,
Well, cats and dogs. And then we got Lily because she has hair, not fur. She's like hypoallergenic or whatever. So we rescued her, and then me and my boyfriend just got the pit bull, and she's been fine with it. So she didn't die. She didn't die. She doesn't get hives anymore.
She's still around. So.
Yeah.
that's so funny.
She stopped coming by. It's weird. I don't know.
You had a cat?
We had my brother. Well, it was my brother's cat. My brother had a cat when we were 8 years old. When he was 8, I was maybe 6. His name was Smokey.
Okay.
And then my mom and my brother were allergic to it.
So you're okay.
Did you get rid of it?
We gave it back to my grandmother.
Oh.
My grandmother had like a litter of cats. I don't know. Her cat just came home pregnant one day and just had all these baby cats.
Kittens are the cutest.
So we took one. Yeah.
I wish they could stay kittens and not turn into cats.
Yeah, like kittens are cute. I could deal with a kitten. Like they're fun or whatever. But like once they're cats, like okay, this is kind of boring.
Yeah.
Like what do you? Do? Yeah.
A lot of them are mean.
Yeah. I'm not crazy. Yeah, cats are I don't know.
All the cat fans are gonna be mad.
Yeah,
at
I
all of us.
just made some enemies, but
Yeah.
I never
Most people are
understood that.
dog
Like,
people anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dogs for sure.
Before we wrap up, if you weren't a singer, what would you do?
If I wasn't a singer.
If you weren't into music, what would you do?
Probably something in like the health and wellness kind of world, like maybe nutrition or
I was gonna say
something like
because the health
that.
and wellness world is like very broad.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like let's.
No, like I love like cooking, and I love doing healthy recipes and like exercising and all that stuff. So I don't know, something like that.
In that genre.
Yeah, that's not
somewhere.
really anything specific at all, but that's
So
just kind of what I
cook,
like.
Influencer, personal trainer
I also love baking.
in that area.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like to have like a cafe or something. That'd be fun.
That would be
It
cool.
would be cool.
I love making like tea, coffee. I love baking a lot. I love making cocktails.
Did you make what was the bread that everybody was making during COVID?
banana bread.
Banana bread.
Oh yeah. Yep.
It's an
Make
easy one.
Banana bread for
I don't know
sure.
why I was thinking carrot cake for some reason.
Carrot
I don't
cake's
know
good.
why. Yeah, I love carrot cake
Carrot
too.
cake is really good. Honestly,
Favorite cake.
you know
Chocolate.
what's funny?
Chocolate?
Before you
Yeah.
we at my office today, we were talking about cakes. We had like a little marketing meeting, and something on the topic of cakes came up. And we were talking about the cake we had on my birthday on the weekend, and then we got into the point about like Sobeys cakes versus this because Penny was talking about it. We've talked a lot about cakes lately, a whole lot about cakes.
Cakes are good, man.
They are good.
Did you know it was George's
Okay.
birthday? We had chocolate cake the other night.
It was my birthday.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Favorite cake? Black Forest cake.
Black
Yeah.
Forest.
You weren't here. We talked about this, Penny. She
Yeah.
thought it was weird. She's like, she asked me, do you like jelly donuts too? And I was like, not really. But
I like jelly donuts.
do you?
Yeah, raspberry filled. Mm.
I used to love jelly donuts as a kid. The ones that like Tim Hortons that have like the
Yeah.
white powder.
Yep.
I used to love them.
They're good. You're looking at me like
Those
I'm
are like
crazy.
we get donuts at our office basically every Friday, and those are always the last ones remaining.
Well, I'm coming over Friday then.
Well, yeah, I was just about to say I'll
Problem
fix that
solved.
Well,
problem.
when did I invite the boys over? We did fish and chips last week. I sent the message to our group chat. I was like, "Hey boys, I'm buying fish and chips. Anybody wants them? Just come on by."
I would have came if I had some to do. I love fish and chips. Fish and chips are amazing.
Ooh, favorite cheat meal
Oh,
to both of you.
pasta. Easy.
That's not even really a cheat.
We're going
meal,
for
like-
pasta after this, and I'm
Oh, where are you going?
Tironi.
I was gonna
Toroni's a
guess
good
that,
like
yeah.
Toroni's a very good like staple. You know, like I feel like Toroni, even Angusto as well in this area, like they're good. You know exactly what you're gonna get every time you go there, and it's always quality and like it's fair price too. It's not like it's crazy expensive. Like I know some people rave about Sophia up in Yorkville now.
Yeah.
But like it's very expensive, Sophia. Like, I played a pasta for like $50 or $48. You're going for the vibe, according to Danielle.
I ain't a big Yorkville person.
And neither am I.
Danielle's rolling her eyes because she lives in Yorkville.
George, what's your go-to? Wait, sorry, what kind of pasta actually?
Any really. I cook a lot, so I don't make the homemade pasta. I tried it a couple times, but on the regular, I have this sauce that I just kind of made up, and it's got like fresh tomatoes, onions, garlic, and butter, and then I like saute that until it's almost like burnt, and then I blend it with fresh basil and Parmesan cheese, a little bit of cream, and then I
Is that your
saute.
stomach?
Yeah, I'm not even hungry right now, but my stomach started growling.
Somebody's like, all right, talk to me, Noelle. Talk to me.
I was so weird. I'm like, wow, this is actually a pretty cool, like, pretty good, like, recipe. And my stomach
It's
goes,
really good.
I
And
knew it
then
was-
there's spicy Italian sausage, zucchini, and cherry tomatoes also.
I might need this
Spicy
recipe.
Italian
Like,
sausage,
my
I'm
stomach
just giving you
allegedly,
my secret recipe.
That's
Like, it's so good though.
okay.
that's my favorite.
Your cheat meal is your own homemade meal.
That sounds so douchey of me
No,
to say,
that's
but
not.
we don't go out to eat all that much. Like, I'm not in Toronto like all that much, so yeah, we love cooking together.
Yeah.
It's
I
like like our thing. Yeah.
same with my girlfriend and I. We cook, like, I've always, like,
Same.
always liked to. Do you ever cook? Rarely.
I made breakfast yesterday actually, and I thought about the first time I've used my kitchen stove because I fried some eggs and whatever. I fried eggs and like I made a triple decker egg sandwich with cheese and like cold cuts
That
and
sounds yummy.
yeah, I fried both sides with butter. Oh, it was actually bomb. But I was thinking about it, I'm like, this is the first time I've used this in like I don't even know how long, probably like 6-8 months.
See, yeah, my girlfriend and I cook a
Wow.
lot. We cook. I say a lot. She's pretty good. She's a pretty good cook. She actually has a really good. Is gnocchi considered pasta? I
Yeah.
guess
Yeah.
so. She's a really good gnocchi. I just don't know it's potato, right? She's a really good gnocchi recipe she makes. She made it the first time she
Yummy.
cooked for me. Tried to
I
really
love
won my heart there.
Yeah.
No, it's really good.
I
She has
bet.
a really good recipe.
What's your cheat meal?
Like if I had
Yeah.
what do you consider? Like if I'm gonna be unhealthy or if I could eat one thing right now? It's such an ambiguous term, cheat meal.
Like a cheat meal. Like it's
something unhealthy.
Yeah,
or like,
not even that. It's like it's Sunday. You're about to pig out. What is it?
Oh, okay. If I had to cheat, I'd probably go with pizza.
From where?
yeah, pizza.
It's hard because I usually order FBI pizza because it's near me, but I don't love FBI pizza anymore. I mean, I don't not love it. It's just like
You like it.
I like
You
it.
don't love it anymore. Okay, that's fair.
My favorite pizza. I honestly don't know. I don't know. Pizza no. It's pizza's pizza. I don't know.
Holy fuck, my man! I just watched your brain explode.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I like. I like North of Brooklyn. I like Fourth Man in the Fire too. They're both really good because I've ordered them both to here once, but this is a while ago. I haven't had them. North of Brooklyn, I actually had pretty recently, like a few months ago.
My boyfriend just built a wood fire pizza oven in the backyard.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, so I like make the dough and yeah, it's so good.
So you guys like really cook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Like it's just kind of been our COVID thing.
So the only thing so my parents have one too. The only thing I hate about them is like you need a good like 3-4 hours.
Yeah, because it has
Because-
to get to like what 700 degrees.
Yeah, I don't remember
No.
that. For ours, we have to wait for the whole inner dome to be white. So when it gets really hot, it first goes black, and then you have to wait for the whole thing to go white. But sometimes you put your hand there, like, okay, it's hot enough. It's hot enough. It's like, okay, just like that tiny area is like you got to wait for the bottom slab to be hot enough because that's how you get that crisp thing.
Yeah.
And if the top is too hot and you have like, let's say you just put too much wood in there and you get all the fire on the top of the dome, it burns the cheese on top.
Yes.
So it's like a full like process. And some days
It
we're like,
is.
it's me, my mom, my dad, let's say. Like, we literally just need 2 pizzas for the 3 of us. We're gonna burn up all this extra wood. We're gonna spend the 3 hours getting to go. It's not like you just put the wood in there and you F off for the next 3 hours. Like no, you gotta put a little bit more in. You gotta watch it, make sure it's growing properly, doing it. It's
Yeah,
like,
he does that, so
okay,
I love it.
that's fair. Well, you make the dough. You said.
Yeah, I make the dough. I get all the toppings ready, and then but like you said, like if it's just a couple people, it's not worth it. So we'll just do it in the oven. If it's just the 2 of us, but we'll be like, Mom and Dad, come have pizza. We'll invite all of our friends over and just
you
make
make some
a
extras,
billion
yeah.
pizzas. Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'm gonna order some pizza now. Not really caring if I'm hungry. That's all I'm thinking about now. I'm trying to go back to my this self-talk about how I was just like debating between all these different pizzerias. Couldn't give a damn straight answer. Now I want pizza. Now I gotta figure it out.
Okay, so we're nearing that point. But before we wrap up, your latest single, "Stupid," is out. Before we run out of time, tell us about that. What the idea behind it, everything.
Stupid is kind of just a song about like long distance relationships. It's not a situation that I've ever been in, and sometimes I like to just write about things like situations that I'll see in movies or like situations that my friends are in and whatnot. And it's just a good sad love song, of course. And yeah, I'm super excited about it. My EP 30K just came out, and it kind of takes you through the highs and lows of like young love. So
good.
Yeah.
And how's the EP been going so far?
Good. It's really good. I'm excited to sing it on the 10th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna go through start to finish? You're gonna play some old songs, maybe some covers, or just the EP?
I'm doing one cover, and then I'm doing 7 of my songs. So I'm
Okay,
doing
amazing.
everything that's on the EP. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And for those who missed it already, it's May 10th at Supermarket in Kensington.
Mm-hmm.
And it's did we say first show in Toronto, right?
Yeah.
Exciting.
First show back. I'm very excited.
Love that.
It's a big deal.
All right, George, you got anything else, or?
I'm just thinking about food now.
That's it, eh? Food,
No.
cats.
This is great. This is a blast.
Yeah, it was. Thank you for having
well,
me.
thanks for coming on and making the drive down. If people want to find out more about you, what you're doing, where can they go? How can they find you?
Social media, Spotify. It's all Noelle or Noelle Official on like Instagram and stuff.
Perfect. We'll make sure we tag everything. And then May 10th, if you're in the city of Toronto, go check it out. Supermarket in Kensington. It's actually a cool venue.
Yeah.
I've been there once. I can't remember who I saw, but it was for like a showcase thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And showcases are cool because you get a variety of different artists, and it's like everyone's got their 30-minute, 45-minute set time. So it's like you get so much different music in one place under one roof. So.
I heard there's like a jazz band going on after me, so I'm like, perfect.
Wow, right up your alley.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to come down, stay for both shows.
Yeah.
And I'll stick around, see some jazz too.
Sounds
my
good
alley.
to me.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, appreciate you coming on. Guys, if
Thank
you made it
you
to the
so
end of
much.
this, we appreciate you. Share this with your friends. Give Noelle a follow. Give your pals a follow. And other than that, signing off, pals. Cheers.
Peace.
Boom.
Woohoo.